What's up, guys? Welcome back. My name's Amanda Bartonier and I'm so glad to have you on my channel today. Today we are going to go back to the basics. I'm going to do a series of videos that are about the basics of makeup, what your essentials are for makeup, maybe not such an essential part of your makeup routine, and explain why they're needed and all kinds of good stuff. So without further ado, we are going to be starting today in our Back to the Basics series with primers. I didn't know anything about primers until about 2 years ago. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So guys, I want to start out with a little backstory on when I started using primer. When I was growing up, when I was in high school, I started wearing makeup probably about, what, 14, 15, something like that. I was, wasn't really interested in it until everybody else at my school started wearing makeup. So I got into wearing makeup. What happened was my mom took me to Merle Norman, which if anybody knows what that is, then good for you. I didn't start getting really into branching out in my makeup routine until a couple of years ago when I started watching YouTube videos, and then it's like it clicked. All of a sudden I needed these new pieces as essentials to my makeup routine, and primer was one of them. I wanted to start out by telling y'all a little bit about a couple of different primers that I have tried, and some of them I don't have here, but I'm just going to talk about them anyway, and I'm going to test it out in the back of my hand or my arm so that y'all can see. And unfortunately, I did a little swatching today on my hand of one of my eyeshadows that I'm wearing, and it's stuck on there. So anyway, let's get into it. The whole purpose of a primer, there's two reasons that you really use a primer. First of all, is to kind of, I call it spackle. You kind of use it to fill in any large pore areas. You use it to fill in fine lines and wrinkles. It just gives your skin a smoother texture to apply your foundation to. And it's essential now to me because I just turned 30 this past year, and subconsciously in my mind I'm like, you're getting wrinkles, oh my god, you're getting wrinkles. So I want to fill those in and make my overall appearance look more flawless. And the other reason that you use a primer is to make your makeup last a lot longer. You're paying top dollar for some of these foundations. Like my Fenty Beauty was like $30-something for a tube of foundation. That's it'll last me over a month. I'm pretty good about that stuff because I don't wear makeup every day. But you're paying that much for a foundation. You want to get your money's worth out of it, and the best way to do that is to use a primer and then later on a setting spray, which we'll get to that way down the road. We're just starting at primer today. The first one I wanted to talk to you about was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer, and it comes in a bottle like this. On the back it says Magic Potion. Magic Potion. Let's see if you can look at this thing. And it is, I like it. It's okay if you're going for a cheap drugstore primer. I will try my best to remember to put prices in here, but I'm just going to put a little dot of it on the back of my hand. You can see it's comes out very creamy, and it goes on really well. It feels really wet when you first put it on. The problem I have with it is that it doesn't seem to get very tacky, and that's what I tend to like in a primer. Something's going to get tacky enough for my foundation to just kind of stick, kind of glue onto there, And this one, it gets tacky enough, but it's not as good as others that I have tried. So, but if I get in a pinch, it definitely works. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. Now this is really silicone-y. And you'll get into different primers and find out what you like. Sometimes you would like a little more creamy. Sometimes you would like a little more silicone based. And then we'll talk about some other ones that you may be interested in later. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused, I'm going to put that back on. Woo, you can't see. Okay. Mineral Infused Face Primer. This series of primer, they have a bunch of different ones. They have some that are Obviously this is the mineral infused. They have some color correcting ones. They have they have a hydrating one. I think they have one for more mature skin, one that has, it's more like a BB cream that has a tint to it. I'm not sure, but they have a lot of them and they're cheap. I think they're about the same price as the other one. But I wanted to show you. Got me a little blob there. You can kind of tell. Got a little blob, and it is very silicone-y looking. And then you take it and you rub it in. I do like this one. This one really does work well for, you know, giving you a good tacky base. The problem is if you rub it too much before it kind of dries down, it will like ball up on you, and it's very weird. I don't think y'all can tell, but I got some little like balls of it right here. But I mean, technically when you put on a primer, you just kind of push it in like that. It's not my favorite. Once again, I have my favorites that I use on a daily basis. So next up is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Mattifying Makeup Primer. This one's a little dirty. Sorry guys. I've got something on. I think it's eyeliner or something like that. But anyway. There's this one. And I don't know why they have shade names on them. Or not shade names, but a shade number. Like this is 003. Like, it doesn't really mean a shade range. But I'm going to put this on here. Let's see. See if I can get a little bit of this out. And I'm trying to put them just like 1, 2, 3 across my hand. And the reason I'm doing that is to try to keep them kind of separated so y'all can kind of tell. But this one, you know, it's, whoa. Wow, I'm like, this is the one that I'm wearing today. This is one that I use for filling up my pores and wrinkles and stuff. It is very thick once you start moving it around. And it definitely takes away any shine. It says on the package, it says shine controlling, pore minimizing, hydrating feel, and smooths the skin. It does all of those. It is a wonderful primer. It gets very tacky and it is very mattifying. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if you can see the back of my hand, like if it's shiny or not, but right there in the middle where I put it, it's just like flat matte. Okay. Another one I want to talk to you about, and this is another one of my favorites. It kind of competes with this one a little bit. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Perfecting Primer. And again, it has a shade range. This is 001. Now, I've talked about this one before. I think this is, yeah, this is in the last video I did with what I got for Christmas. Of course, this I did not get for Christmas. This is just something I had on hand. And my only complaint about this is when you squirt it out, you'll see here in a minute, there is a tiny little bit of dried product up here at the top. Can you kind of tell? Y'all probably think I'm a little bit crazy, but there's a little bit of dried product that comes out of the end of it, and you have to dig it out before you start using the product because you cannot smear this out. I mean, it just, you know, little ball of it, it's a pain. But it's just one of those minute little things that I've noticed and whatever. So I'm just going to rub this in just like I did the other ones, and it's very smooth. It's very pore filling. I really do like this one. And this one, actually all of them, you really need to just kind of work them into the skin. Try not to rub them because if you rub them, they kind of ball up a little bit. You can kind of get a little flaky. Anyway, I really do like this one. This one is one I use on a daily basis overall. And we have on hand, now y'all know I love samples. I really do, because it gives you a chance to use some of the expensive products before you go out and purchase the expensive product. But this is the Becca First Light Priming Filter Instant Complexion Refresh. It's the little purple one, okay? I like it a lot, but it is not pore filling. And then I have also on hand the Backlight Priming Filter. I like both of these a lot. But like I said, these are not for pore filling. They're not for fine lines and wrinkles. They are strictly to add vibrancy to your skin. Like really, vibrancy. And they give you a glow. I have the backlight priming filter on today underneath my makeup. All over. I apply this all over, okay? So I want to show you the purple one, the First Light priming filter. I don't know what the difference. They're really watery. I don't know if you can kind of see. They're really watery, but once they dry down, they just have this little bit of, I don't know what it is. It just makes your skin just look radiant, and I love it. Especially this one. This one's got like a little bit of a, it's not a glitter, like a metallic tone. And I think that the purple one would be really good if you had a really yellow undertone that you wanted to kind of cancel out. And, you know, I think that it would be great. You can, wow, you can really tell a difference in person. I don't know if you can tell it on camera, but you can really tell a difference in person between the two. The purple one really cancels out that yellow tone. And then this one has a more golden tone. It's like a really toned down, really watered down bronze, okay? But it makes your skin look radiant, like it's just glowing from the inside out. It's beautiful. So I use either one of these, and then I'll use either the Stay Matte or the Photo Ready from Revlon in my pore areas, like right here, and right here, and then around my nose, and a little bit on my forehead, and then a little bit on my chin. And that's where I use, where I need a little bit of pore filling. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this little product. Again, it's a sample. This is the Ulta Beauty brand Mattifying Balm Oil Control Primer and Setter. But it's just this really mattifying balm. I mean, it is super mattifying. There's a little bit on there, and I'm just gonna, you know, put a little bit on there, and it really just instantly mattifies everything. It's wonderful. I use this as a pore filling primer in my trouble areas once again, and I also use this throughout the day if I need a little touch up, like for oil control. This stuff works so much better than those little oil blotting cloths that you get. You know what it kind of reminds me of? I think Smashbox just came out with a mattifying stick that's similar consistency to this, because I've tested it in the store. And it's a stick that you roll up and you apply it, and it feels just like this except in stick form. The other one that I wanted to talk about was, it's one that I've tried in the past. I just don't have any with me now because I'm trying to use up all the primers that I have on hand before I go out and buy another one. But I really like the Smashbox Photo Ready primer. Surely it's not Photo Ready. Surely it's not the same name as the Revlon. But I do like the Smashbox, and it's just the clear one. I wanted to try the Primerizer by Smashbox because that just seems like it would be so great. 2-in-1 product, you know, moisturizer and primer in one step. I don't have to do two. So I might get that and try it out and let you guys know. Let me know down in the comment section if that's something that you would want to see. Another thing I want to talk about, since we're on the topic of primers, you know, I did discuss how I apply it. Different people apply it different ways to suit their needs. But there are several different types of primers out there. So I think that's it for this video. Let me know down in the comment section if you enjoyed this video, if you really enjoyed the Back to Basics series, or if that's something that you'd be interested in. I think it's going to be great. I think that there are not enough videos on YouTube that show each individual step of makeup. Usually you just watch them apply it and you're done, you know. You don't really have somebody sitting down talking about each individual piece. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. If you don't like this video, why are you even watching me? Seriously. Why you gotta give me a thumbs down every time? I am so glad to have you on my channel, and y'all have a wonderful day.